What are you saying? Welcome back to SOJ. 4-game slate. That was 8. 4-game slate last night. And we now have 2 more teams in the elimination pile. So let's talk about them. Firstly, let's do a little bit of admin. Clippers lost to the Nuggets. You had a great game from Russ. 21 points. That was it, actually. It was 21 points, a rebound, and an assist. I don't know if we're going to call that. But more importantly, we had the Jamal Murray game. It comes once in a blue moon, and it's only in April and May. But we got the Jamal Murray game. 43 points on the night for him. 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Or those two might be mixed around. Either one. This is what they needed. Nikola Jokic didn't have a great night. He didn't have a great night. Yeah. He still had a triple-double. 13 points, 10 rebounds, or 12 rebounds, 10 assists, I think. Again, might be flipped around. But this is what they needed. The Clippers now get to play their next game in LA, and I think for them, it's just a case of we can't let Jamal Murray kill us again. I don't think there's much more to the scouting than we got to make sure that don't happen. The Pistons versus the Knicks. And this might actually be the best playoff series so far because all their games have been close. These two teams are very evenly matched. A bit of a stinker from Jalen Brunson. I think he had like 16 points and was like 4 of 16 from the field. Did not have a great one. It all pretty much came down to some poor lineup management from Tom Thibodeau. They had Josh Hart come out of the game because he had landed awkwardly on his wrist. So that kept him out. He also took Jalen Brunson on the same play. Those two are out for pretty much the last 2 minutes of the game until Miles McBride gets to the free throw line. And by then you have like 10 seconds left. It's a bit futile. Like it's a bit like you don't want that to happen, especially like 2 of your most important players. Josh Hart did have a great game, 15 points, like 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Again, might be flipped. Regardless, you had a good game from him. And to take them out and not get a chance to put them back in because you're waiting for a dead ball situation, it's tough. I don't think at this point they had any timeouts left, so they would have to have given up a technical. They lose 106-103. OG Anunoby hits a big clutch 3, but it's just not enough. So we'll get on to the teams that have been eliminated. The Magic are now officially out of playoff contention, and maybe there is a chance the Magic get desperate this offseason and think we need to make a trade for a guy who can shoot. Because they brought in KCP to do that. And all of us thought, okay, KCP, they got a shooter. Let's see if they can remedy that. It's tough for KCP. Like, he's had a lot of games where he just wasn't as effective in this series. And to be honest, I didn't watch this game because I'm not watching any of these like blowout matchups. But when you are a team that has one bona fide great 3-point shooter, yeah, it's not great when defenses just run them off the line. It's cool, whatever. But anyway, the Magic are out. Like maybe they get desperate this offseason. Maybe they think we need to find someone who can shoot. Maybe we can find someone who is a bit more of an offensive threat. Because defensively, this team is perfectly fine. This team is one of the best defenses in the league. And whilst that may not have shown in this series, like for all intents and purposes, they're against the Boston Celtics, who are the best team in the league, pretty much defending champions. I mean, they're not the best team in the league, but yeah, well, they're a top 3 team in the league. But that aside, we need to talk about the Bucks because the big question on everyone's mind is, did Giannis just play his last game for the Bucks? It seems like it. When you look at what has happened in this series and what this team looks like now, it's hard to believe that Giannis doesn't ask out this offseason. And he has all the right to do so. He got them a championship. They won the NBA Cup. You know, they've put all the pieces around him, but all those pieces just haven't come to fruition this season. Let's talk about the game real quick because this one was kind of exciting as well. The Bucks were really fighting for their life. You had a 33-point performance from Gary Trent Jr., but you also had the most costly of turnovers in overtime. Gary Trent Jr. lets the ball go straight through his legs. They're not able to close this game out. Pacers go the other way. Tyrese Helly-Burton gets a switch onto Giannis, which I'm surprised you want that switch onto Giannis, especially if you're driving inside, because I wouldn't. But what would I know? I'm 5'6" and not great at basketball. Tyrese gets it off the bounce. Tough driving layup. Puts them up 1.6 to go. It's a Hail Mary heave from Gary Trent Jr. And it's just not enough. There was a bit of a kerfuffle, if you will. A bit of a situation after the game with, I think Benedict Mathurin did not take kindly to whatever Giannis was saying. And Giannis does this thing where I feel like he's trying to be too nice to people. And especially like nice to people who don't want to be nice back. Like he's grabbing Benedict Mathurin from the back of his head trying to talk to him. I'm like, bro, you don't need to be doing all that. It's Benedict Mathurin. I mean, it's cool that was a thing, but regardless, there was also the situation with Tyrese Halliburton's dad, which to be honest, I'm not here for. I do not like. He just seems like he's going out for business for himself. Like, what is the point of going out on the court? Yeah, I know you want to celebrate the win with your son, but at the end of the day, if you're not a player, You're a fan. And if you're a fan, you got to treat them with you got to treat these players with some sort of respect. And that's why the whole thing with Giannis, I get it, bro. If some fan was talking to me crazy after the game, after I just lost the way I did, seeing my teammate go out with injury the way he did, he tore his damn Achilles, came back from a blood clot in his right leg, came back to give everything he could. It wasn't much, but he gave everything he could. I'd be pissed too. If you're a fan and if you're watching the game, and even if you're family of a player, don't do that shit. That's so corny, man. And I'm happy that in their post-game, Tyrese Helly-Burton does say, look, I talked to him. That wasn't right. You shouldn't do that. It's been like, bro, he's already angry. He's lost the series, you know? But yeah, that was a situation. Either way, let's get into the actual talk about the Bucks, because I thought about this last night after watching the game. The Bucks might have a worse future than the Suns. If Giannis asks out here, yeah, they have the ability to recoup some of the costs. You know, they don't have any of their picks till 2031 or maybe until 2030. It's 2025. Okay, that's a long time to not have any picks. They do have picks, they have swaps, but regardless, picks that could mean something. The thing for them is how much can you recoup from trading Giannis? Because at the end of this season, once free agency begins, I don't think Gary Trent Jr. will stay. I think he was only on a 1 year. Brook Lopez is gone. His contract expires. And I don't think there's a point in keeping Brook Lopez if you're not keeping Giannis. Same with Bobby Portis Jr. They're gone. So if you're not keeping Giannis, to say, look, if we can trade Giannis, get some picks back, get some young, promising prospects, maybe it's fine. Maybe you can route him to the Rockets for something along the lines of like the Suns pick, Reed Shepherd, Dylan Brooks for money. Maybe that works. Maybe you get off maybe Jalen Green wants to goes to the Bucks and they see that and be like, look, we got a tank commander here. Maybe that's the case. Maybe there is a team like I was going to say the Magic, but I don't think I don't think he wants to go there. Mainly because, goddamn, what do you even do on the Magic? Like, the Magic needs outside scoring. Adding Giannis does not fix that problem. It creates more. Even like OKC. And I think OKC is one of those teams that are in position to be like, hey, we can give you any pick you want. You can take one of Chet or J-Dub. Giannis, what are you saying? It's going to be a tough time for the Bucks. And to be honest, it might be a tougher time to be a Bucks fan. Take it from someone who is there, who is looking at a team that is capped out and the future is looking bleak. It's not fun here. Dame comes back and he's going to be what? 36, 37? You're not getting the same Dame. I think even regardless, I'm not trusting Damian Lillard at 36 to give me the same production he was at 26. You know? Yeah, this is going to be a tough time to be a Bucks fan because the future is kind of bleak. But hopefully you get enough assets from trading Giannis and maybe you can sign and trade Brook. Maybe you can sign and trade Bobby Portis because those guys have been there a while. Maybe they're cool with giving a bit of hometown loyalty. Okay, cool. I'm going to sign with this team. Do you want to sign me and trade? Maybe we can work something out that way. Who knows? But what I do know is bleak, but it is also the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, a like is always lovely to leave. A subscription goes a long way. I think as I'm recording this, right, 99. So if you could be the 100, that'll be beautiful. Yeah, hope you have a good day. Take good care of yourself.